Welcome back to Keith. Still doesn't really like the combat in this game very much, but he would like to meet the Necromancer probably. The game, the series, the movie. The comic, the movie, the game, the toy. I have no identity, only a purpose. My purpose is to kill you. Rude. Frankly.
You know what? We should get some female zombies to join this party, right, Chief?
I'm out of prayer. I guess I'll open with Call Lightning.
Balance in all things.
What?
Ignis wishes to burn.
Cutscene. Either this isn't a very strong spell. Either it's not a very strong spell or they're resistant to fire. Not sure which one. Are you attacking him?
What you be wanting now?
You know, if I could click you, you wouldn't know a moment's peace.
If I could click you, you wouldn't know a moment's peace. Oh. Fourth wall obliterated.
It is I.
The flames await.
Those sure are some sounds we're hearing.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
I'm dying. Please make him stop attacking my poor weak guy that is weak and dying.
Hear your words. Your path must
Escape! Nope, too late.
Look at it in a sword.
God, it's so hard to control all the individual enemies that are in this fight. You fight that guy.
Yeah. Ignis hears you.
Well, that gets rid of one of them. Everyone fuck up this one then. I got terror to work. Get him! Wow, their AI's losing their goddamn minds. There we go. Can I talk?
I'm gone.
No.
Done.
I just kind of came away a bit curious, like, can I use stories to tell to talk to my own dead party members? Time to do inventory management, because this is what happens whenever anyone dies. I love this system and will complain every single time. Okay.
It shall be done.
Arr.
Done.
Yar. Cure. A portal lens. This magic device can form a gateway to other locations by temporarily attaching itself to known existing portals. This allows the user to access the portal without traveling to it. Form a gateway to other locations by temporarily attaching itself to known existing portals. This allows the user to access the portal without traveling to it. I'm not sure I fully understand, but it sounds like it might just take me to portals I've been to before. A magic item! It looks like a cork. It's something, but Baitor be damned if you can't figure out what. It does radiate magic, however. Does it? Like real magic? Or like wacky play magic?
tried to arise over the merely carnal and see the
Wow.
universe for more than it is. A pleasure.
100% out of every single healing spell. I guess we run back to the entrance now. It's unfortunate you can't rest in any of the rooms. Holy crap, how many rooms have I cleared at this point? Alright. We've been putting a dent in this place. We can turn right here. I've been going this way for now. Sort of a wall-hugging approach. So far the left door never is open. This is like the back wall of the dungeon, essentially. We're seeing where that leads. There's 3 separate places I can turn right so far. I'm a little afraid of how big this place might be on hard mode. Okay, both of those doors are open now, so we have to turn right or back. Greetings. Why do you persist in questioning us? There's always a chance you might learn something. Yes, I suppose that's true. Let me teach you about pain. Rude. Do not like. Not friendly gesture.
All right.
Skull mob.
What do you wish, Your Ignis?
Murder.
How may I help?
She's definitely the highest damage party member I have right now in this place. But I think it's because they're specifically vulnerable to lightning. Not Skull Mob. Litany of Curses. You attack this guy. You attack this guy. You make him stronger, because he's so weak, but he's a warrior boy and needs to eat his vegetables. You will call lightning again to try to finish this guy off.
Is thy bidding?
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
This one should die soon, hopefully. There we go. Look at how hard she works. She has to cast so many spells to try to heal us. I feel bad for her. Her spells are just so weak compared to our health totals. Like the two don't seem in sync with each other. It doesn't feel like as far as healing goes in games I'm used to, it feels abnormal for one fight to be so taxing on the healer that they have to spend all of their healing pool just getting it back.
I'm gone.
That just seems unusual to me. So it makes her feel like she's pretty weak. A lot of other people can keep playing after the first fight, but the first fight is so taxing for her, it uses all her abilities. What are you doing? Loading the evil wizard. Ooh, there's 3. We're gonna die.
What's up, Chief?
I don't have lightning spells this time.
Ignis wishes to burn.
What's the word, Chief?
I hear you.
And there's more enemies than before. I think I'm done again. I think I'm gonna move on again. I'm just kind of slowly chipping at this place, but I can't emotionally take doing all of it in one go. It's a slog.
Great. I hope he doesn't lose his memories this time.
I thought I'd lost you that time.
All right.
Well, not that I cared, mind you.
that I'd lost you.
This is limbo, yet it rings of Mechanus.
Okay, everyone still has their gear on, right? Your teeth, in this case. Just making sure no one died and surprised me and dropped all their shit. She doesn't have any wrist items. She can have 2 rings, a hand item, a wrist item, and an earring. 2 earrings. She's not really equipped much there, but I don't have much left to give her. AC seems best for the people that are actually usually in melee range. I keep getting more of these, but I don't have a Modron to give them to. That feels a little odd. Here, you have the other Modron items, so hold on to these ones too, I guess. All the nonsense dungeon items. So let's go ahead and leave. I don't know if there's a point to this ultimately. They promised a necromancer. All I know is that these fights get tiring quickly. Are there any dangers associated with the Rubicon that I should be aware of? Yes, Director. Do not become separated from any companions in the maze. Oh yeah, they die forever. Potentially. If we get separated because of the modularness. Clerk's Ward. Let's go to the Clerk's Ward. I'll do some vendoring since I've got stuff to sell. And we'll get back to trying to poke at this mess. I don't know, maybe it is just a super optional whatever area that I don't need to focus on. No way to know until you finish it, and then you find out afterwards whether or not it was worth doing. Identify. You know what? These are 100 each to identify, but I only have 400, so it's not really worth it. It's not till I go through what else I can sell, potentially. These knuckles can be identified. 1 to 6 plus 1 plus 1. Probably sells for more than I identified them for. Yep. That's usually why it's worth it, is that you identify them, you get more money for the sale. Get rid of these other punch daggers so I stop being tempted by them. Confusing me about my own inventory. Okay, now we got 2,700. That is better. I guess I can identify these things now. Who had them? You did. And now I can sell the one that sucks. I apparently will get a Modron eventually, and I can probably only equip one of these. Just +1 to missile weapons. +2 to armor class, +2 armor class verse missile weapons, +3 to missile weapons. Oh shit. Lens of the Bat. Cursed. Induces blindness. -4 to damage, -4 to missile weapons, usable only by Modrons. Whether a joke or result of bizarre experiment, some insane machinist dabbling in the art crafted a lens that gifts the user the vision of the bat. The inventor must have wanted to force the user to appreciate the perspective, as the lens cannot be removed without a curse spell. Ugh. I may have lost money here. I get the feeling that won't sell for anything. Lens of the Bat's worth 1. Okay, well, this one will get my money back for being worth 200. This would be a profit because it's worth 2,400 because it's really good. But I should hold on to it for whatever party member eventually can use it. Which I keep feeling like we're getting late into the game, mainly because I just don't know what's happening next or what there will be to do. But apparently there's a whole party member I've never found yet. The question is if I've missed them and they're optional, or if they're in the future, in which case are they a super late game party member, or is there a lot of game left? Lawful good. Yeah, I sold that because there's no one to use it on, and probably never will be. +2 damage, +2 to missile weapons. Inherent viciousness. That might be worse than the one I have. The Dread Bond, +1 strength. +10 to base hit points. I'm never sure what that means. I don't think you get percentage-based hit points usually in your upgrade, so I don't think it makes you collectively get stronger. Although maybe there's other modifiers that will be more strong if what you gain is percentage-based. Everything past here might be stuff I've sold to them. I think so. So let's get the Dread Bond, which I think has only good things. It being spiked makes it a little worrying, but I think it's only good things. Immune to panic, +1 strength. And he doesn't even have that slot full, so that's good. Still need to find a hand item, too. Still trying to fill in the inventory of this character. But now that takes him to 16 strength, so that's another +1 to various things. So that will be a noteworthy positive. That is good. We did a good.
All right.
Let's see. I kind of want to poke at the siege weapon again if I can. Keep asking people in that area if I can. I'm trying to remember if I think I finished exploring the Sensate place now, but maybe not. It's a perpetual concern of whether or not I finished anything. Hello, sir. I don't learn about the thieving art. Can you tell me about this ward? He shrugs and gestures about him. Seeing tells it all, Cutter. It isn't heaven, and it isn't hell. There's better places to aspire to and worse ones to avoid. I've been to the Hive. That must be the place to avoid. He laughs, but stops when another coughing fit threatens to start. Yeah, the Hive isn't hell. There's just a stone's throw away. There's something else you needed, Cutter. Are you alright? Not really. But I'm healthier than most of the sods in this ward. Thank you for the courtesy of asking, but I'm sure you wanted something else. Gotta be someone that can have some kind of information. This person's just looking for a fight. Did I actually just increase my axe skill again? Axe plus 4. Damn. Okay. I thought I already trained with him. I thought that you had to do 1 per trainer, but maybe it's you whatever your current cap is. Okay.
Updated my journal.
Okay, she said, well, nothing more I can teach you right now, not unless you devoted your whole life to being a warrior. You've got to specialize in being a warrior if you want to get better. You've not got that devotion to the fighting craft. Only when you've turned your body into a weapon can you learn more from me. Went back to read that because I got a journal update. A more rigorous devotion to the fighting arts, never forsaking them for thievery or magecraft, should grant me specialization, the specialization my tutor speaks of. So, am I fucked? Have I already fucked that up by ever going to the other classes? Because I haven't been to the other classes forever. Maybe I should go ask Ebb Creek Knees, who is in the Smoldering Corpse Bar, I believe. Maybe he'll have some answers about that place now that I've been there. I have no leads on how to get any further with this storyline. Let's see. You don't think small, do you? If you want to know what's outside the city, go talk to Kandrian Ilborn over there. He's the traveler of this place. As for the rest of it, well, I can tell you of the lady, the Dabbus, keys and portals, the way we keep track of time, the way the city's laid out. What's what we want to know? I don't know if I've heard about Sigil's time. The way we measure time in Sigil's by the brightness of the sky. See, we haven't got a sun and moon like most worlds. We just got this everlasting haze that brightens and darkens at regular cycles. What most folks call midnight, we call anti-peak. What they call noon, we call peak. See, it's based on the peak and anti-peak of the brightness, so when someone says something's about 5 hours past peak, that's what they mean. I don't know if I've noticed that before. City's layout. Whew, let me wet my tongue. He takes a pull from his tankard. The city floats about an infinitely tall spire. We're on top of a spire? The spire. The spire is called the spire. It lies on the side, on its side like a discarded wagon wheel, but there's no spokes that connect it to the spire. Huh. It's divided into 6 wards, each of them with its own function. Right now, you're the hive. Ugh. I think the purpose of the hive is to be squalor for the rest of the city's grandeur, he laughs. Factions, philosophical clubs, or gangs if you prefer, divide up the running of the city between them. The city floats above an infinitely tall spire, the spire. It lies on its side like a discarded wagon wheel, but there's no spokes that connect it to the spire. So we float above the spire, but sideways? What? So we're like a disc floating above the spire sideways, and that's the city? Like, what the fuck? Were you in a faction? Ebb raises his hands as if to stop you and laughs slightly. Oh, now, hold on, lad. I'm no has-been faction member. They say, and they're right, that once you're one of the Harmonium, you're Harmonium for life. We're the Bloods that try to make sure Sigil stays out of trouble. No rocking the spire, no folks getting too over-enthusiastic about hurting each other. keeping the city down to a low roar. We try and keep the peace, lad, and most times we do a decent job. Keys and portals. Sigil's called the City of Doors for a reason, lad. There's portals everywhere. Portals are, well, like doors that lead across the multiverse, except they don't look like doors. Instead, they can be any bounded space, window, door, pothole, picture frame, barrel hoop. The spaces inside, scaffolding, a wardrobe. Each could be a portal, waiting for just the right key to open it and take you someplace in the multiverse. Now, keys. Each portal has a key you need to open it. Now, while portals can be any bound space, keys can have more variety. Why am I yawning today, specifically? They can be anything from a little tune you hum when next to a portal, to dancing a jig, to being in the right mood. Yeah, to having a piece of the place you want to go in your hand. A piece of the place you want to go in your hand, and so on and on and on. In my youth, I once convinced a girl that kissing a man beside it could open a portal to Arcadia. Turned out I was right, and many trips to Arcadia did we have. Wait, you lied, but you were coincidentally correct? Many portals have never been found. There's some you can uncover just by asking people and getting the right key. Finding out the dark of a portal is the toughest part. But I warn you, lad, portal hopping shouldn't be a pastime for a fella in your way. Nor should you be wandering Sigil after dark, neither. You'd do best to stick to the main ways. An open peek, and watch yourself. How much to go on here? Yeah, I don't think this is helpful. He seems like a dead end. Okay. We had a good spree, but I might be on a bit of a dead end where I need to figure out what to even do next. Huh. Well.
I'm gone.
Amaris. I heard you spoke to Nod for me. I thank you, Cutter. Of course, but how did you know? I have many a friend in the hive, I do. She winks at you. Again, I thank you. That was Nod's sister from one eternity ago. We're all getting stuck on each other again. Someone around here's got to have answers for me. The guy that used to send me on missions. You have any more jobs for me? No. What do you selling? The Hammer of Quality. This is a finely crafted warhammer. Godsman etchings and symbology decorate the head of the weapon and work their way down the shaft. Despite its heavy appearance, it feels much lighter than it looks. Nah, not. I feel like I heard a reference to a small hammer being needed at some point, but I don't think that's it. Looks like I've already sold a bunch of stuff to him too. I'm starting to think that I'll never get to sell rags to people. We'll talk about the Godsman and the Foundry, but he won't talk about this actual area specifically. That person won't talk about the area at all. Laszlo likes to talk. What can you tell me about this ward? You know why they call it why it's called the lower ward? No. Why is it called the lower ward? Well, as it's reckoned, the ward's got a mess of portals to lower planes. Okay, remember this. Do any creatures come out of these portals? Aye, they do. Most of them just stopping through. He swallows nervously and looks worried. You look nervous. You've seen this yourself? Aye, I've seen it. He pauses and swallows again. It was just last week or so. We saw a couple of Abishai come through a portal. They talked a good bit, and one of them went back through. The one that stayed is still there. He frowns. What were they talking about? I don't know for sure. To me, it was just hissing and such. But I think they was talking about the tower. He shrugs. The tower?
Updated my journal.
Ah, that's a good sound. Aye. It's one of the strangest sights to be in the ward. No one really knows how long that scarred old tower has been around. You can't get into it, you know. Bolted up tighter than a chastity belt. I'd be curious to know what's in there. He thinks for a moment. The Abishai was gesturing at the tower and the portal. They was looking for the key, I bet. What key? The key of the portal the key to the portal that leads to the tower. Every portal has a key that opens it somewhere. The key can be a gesture, an item, or even a thought. Many have tried hard to get into the tower. No matter how hard you try, you fail. Maybe the secret to getting in is to not want to get in.
Updated my journal.
It's quite a leap you just made, but apparently the journal updated. I don't know, Cutter. Might be. Tell me where this portal's located.
My journal.
He stops to think for a moment. There's a drawbridge like the contraption at the back of the tower, east of the market. That's where it is. He gets a faraway look. Hello, that was a lot of journal updates. That means that we're on the right path. I swear I talked to him even while I was trying. Exhausting dialogue's hard. I think I checked with him last time I came through looking for people. You approach the location of the portal that the boy Laszlo spoke of. You begin to replay your conversation with him in your head. Maybe the secret to getting in is not want to get in, you hear yourself say. Suppress the desire to enter the tower. How did you... I have no idea how he made that leap. What the fuck? Coaxmetal. That's quite the visual. You see an iron creature. Its size is staggering. If it stood full height, it would shatter the roof of the siege tower. Thunderous echoes rattle the walkway as the creature hammers away at its forge, and the smell of soot and ash fills the air. We're inside the siege tower? This looks way bigger than the real siege tower's size. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
There is the screaming of metal on metal as the giant turns to face you. You suddenly realize the golem is built into the siege tower itself. Girders, pipes, and huge bracers run through its lower torso and into the walls, and the bottom portion of its body makes up the forge itself. What are you? I am iron, given purpose. What purpose? I forge the implements by which the multiverse will be unmade. Oh. Neat. Cool hobby. You mean forging weapons? That's your purpose. Metal is like flesh. Both carry potential in their veins. When tempered with heat and pressure, the potential surfaces. My purpose is to bring forth this potential. Allow it expression. Who do you make these weapons for? I forge them for the sake of entropy. They are pain, seeking expression. What does entropy need weapons for? Beyond this tower, order rallies its legions. The multiverse heals its wounds. In time, its strength may equal entropy. Order versus chaos! Lobsters! The multiverse is your enemy? Why?
Updated my journal.
The multiverse breathes, it grows, it stagnates, it forges its chains around the planes link by link. Even entropy may be chained. That would be difficult. It's a natural law that the word trends towards entropy. And you're opposed to chaining entropy. When a thing seals itself against its own destruction, it merely dies a different death. What makes that death worse than any other? All things have a common ground in decay. War is necessary. Death is necessary. Decay is necessary. And how much of this is too much? There are no limits. Limits are one of the links in the chain of order. Limits must be shattered. Even if death is the result. All must fall upon entropy's blade. The time nears when it will be necessary to breach the walls of creation. Order will be put to the sword. Its chains will be broken. The multiverse will be unmade. I see. I had some other questions. Ask. What are you? Yeah, that's from before. What is this place? This tower is a siege engine. It exists to breach the walls between planes. Breach planes? How?
Updated my journal.
The tower anchors itself upon a plane. A wound is torn in the multiverse when the bridge of the lower of the tower opens. Legions may pass from one plane to the other through the tower. When the plane has severed entropy's purpose, the tower anchors itself again. Why is the Lady of Blades letting this happen? What happened to the legions that have used the tower? Entropy has unmade them. And what happened to the planes the siege tower invaded? Entropy has unmade them. If the siege tower can travel to planes, why do you remain here? The tower is trapped in the city. This city is a cage that cannot breach. It cannot breach. How did the siege tower get in the city in the first place? At one time, the tower laid siege to the planes. How I was brought here is not known to me. How I may escape is not known to me. What are you doing? Why do you do this? The iron of my body once existed only as minor expressions of pain. Blades, spears, axes, arrowheads, rivets in catapults. From these implements of war was I wrought. What happened? These minor expressions of pain were melted to forge this body. My potential was allowed to surface. Now my purpose is to bring out the potential in other metals. Is he a warforged or a prototype, a proto version of that? You say that someone melted these weapons and forged your body. Who? Entropy raised me from the planar battlefields. And you said your purpose is now to forge weapons. You know. Can you do anything with my weapons? Show me what you have brought. I will study its potential and see if its pain can be given expression. Weapon upgrade person. Oh, this seems like an important person to meet. They also sell stuff, and they do commerce and money? Do you regularly meet people to trade with? 2 to 9 plus 1 plus 4 in fire damage. It's okay, but I specialize in axes. 2 to 9 plus 1. I feel like I have a better axe than that. Can't see my axe, can I? Not on the screen. I might be using that. 2 to 9 plus 1 plus 1. Gauntlets! Oh, they're fist weapons, damn it. 4 to 6 crushing, 4 to 6 piercing, 1 enchanted, and then 3 thaco. Damn it, give me... Where do I ever find gloves? I have a whole slot I can get upgrades on. I need all the upgrades I can get so I can survive the sewers and stuff. Punch daggers of Shar. 1 to 4 plus 3. Saving throws. Not very high damage. Okay, identify and buy and sell. Is that all he does? I thought he upgraded weapons, but this is just a normal merchant screen. I guess identifying is bringing out the potential in a weapon, and that you're like, well, it has generic stats, and then suddenly you know what it is. But I thought you upgraded stuff. Maybe if I take my weapon off. Enchanted battle axe. Yeah, 2 to 9 plus 1 plus 1. 2 to 9 plus 1 plus 1. But a hammer. At this point, I specialize in axes so much that the hammer is useless to me. Oh, he won't. Oh, he won't buy my stuff. He won't buy it. Well, might as well just keep it in my inventory to sell it, though. At this point, it seems pretty clear that nobody's going to be able to use it besides me. Especially since people don't really... Weapons seem to only exist for me, mostly. I mean, she uses fist weapons. I can find other fist weapons for her. Or stabby punch daggers. But most other... Like, I don't think he's going to ever stop using this blade. So weapons are mostly useless unless they're specifically my specialization. Who do you make these weapons for? I forge them for the sake of entropy. They are pain-seeking expression. Yeah, we've been through this. Can you tell me more of what you do with weapons? I think these two conversations mostly meet in the middle each time. What do you know of the Blood War? It is the war by which the planes will be unmade. How long has it gone on? The lifetimes of many metals. Did you ever serve in it? Yes. It was on this forge that the screaming projectiles that tore the smoking skies of Avernus were made. Weapons so sharp the wind itself knew agony. Oh, Oh, hey, I need a heavy, decorated wrought iron birdcage. Do you have one? It's very specific. I have such an item. The Dream Builder came to me an age ago. He promised me that my durance in the prison of this city would be near an end when the cage left my possession. Oh. Quite a thing to know about in advance, I guess. I see. Can I have it?
Updated my journal.
Yes. Take this cage and lay waste to those who create such confines. What do you... have you heard of a night hag named Ravel? The night hag sought to sunder this city. Her greatest works here were those of unmaking. She walked the path of entropy. Do you know what happened to her?
Updated my journal.
Order set chains about her. She was cast within a cage. Do you know where this cage is? Her prison is unknown to me. Just a big fan. Her biggest fan, maybe. But no information on where it is. But we got the bird cage! This is a fine wrought bird cage adorned with razors that you obtained from Coaxmetal the Golem. You are supposed to take it back to Neil for use in the Dream Builder. There we go. Been waiting to follow up on this for a while. Alright. Let's, get out of here, I guess. This guy sure was a character. Now, how do I leave this place? How do I get out of here? There we are. Well,
I'm gone.
that was a long-standing mystery. I just... Okay, do you see that? Hello, Cutter. I heard about Byron and couldn't be happier. What can I do for you? Okay. That's gonna be it for him. I don't remember. Let's check this place. I don't remember where the dream guy is now. I think he might have been here, though. Before I got to other places. I know that I go to the right. I'm pretty sure. In one of these, like, HQ type places. But it's been a while, so I'm not entirely sure which one.
I'm gone.
Oh yeah, this tunnel over here, I think. This hallway. There you are. Nil Xander. The machine requires a bird cage, adorned with razors, fine wrought, to mimic the destructive power of dreams, and their ability to capture our hearts and imaginations. Search in the siege tower for a cage I have commissioned. Okay, so that there. He explicitly told me where to go. It's just I had no idea how to get in. And then I began to wonder whether I was even right about that memory or not. This is a fine wrought birdcage adorned with razors that you obtained from Coaxmetal in the Coaxmetal the Golem. You were supposed to take it back to Nil's. Okay, no particular description there so much. I've got it right here. Now give me my dreams.
Updated my journal.
I need just one more item from you, and we can begin the final process of the Dream Builder. I need a pillow that has lain inside a coffin. It will stimulate a sleep so profound that you may as well be dead. It opens your mind to the emanations of the Dream Builder. It is, if I say so myself, a touch of inspiration on my part. How and where? A coffin pillow, eh? You'll have it. First, answer a few more questions for me. I returned with the birdcage Xander, then asked for a pillow with a coffin. Pillow from a coffin? And I've never found one. It seems like a thing I would still have if I had found it before. weird quest item stuff. No clue? Let's see, save real quick before I pick this one just to see how it goes. I don't think I really want to continue fetching these items for you. You don't, eh? Then maybe you ought to remember that you're fetching these items for a design you funded, for a project you wanted created in the first place, for a device so impractical that the solution to it consumed the lives of 4 generations of my family, all for you. If you want to see this project complete, you'll finish the final stages and stop your endless whining. Fine, alright, I'll do it. Just stop yelling at me. That's whatever. I've been up here before. I think these guys guard this spot so I can't go in, or... Sorry, sir, no one's allowed here till the Factor Sandoz gets back. You can't go in. What can you tell me about him? He's a believer, sir. A true believer. But he's moody, and all that travel across the multiverse can't be good for your head. You either lose perspective or get too much of it. Either way, it ain't good. I'm hoping he'll be back safe. Okay. Does my character now have a faction listed here? Sensates. Yeah, the 2 of us are sensates. I wonder if that you would think that would block me from joining another faction then. Maybe you can only join one?
Alright.
Or maybe when I'm finished with the sensates, I can move on. I don't think the sensates have given me anything else to do, specifically. A coffin pillow. The main thing I would consider checking would be the guy who makes coffins, so... They kind of didn't specify, like, a used, There you go, the coffin maker.
Alright.
Logical approach to take for now. Till I have any more information. Like, half this game is dead people and crypts, so, like, if it's not here, I'm kind of terrified where I would even look for this. I don't remember it ever coming up before, and if it had, I would probably have it in my inventory. I need to buy a coffin pillow. He nods at you. Ah! You are here to purchase, then. I assure you, what I do is a labor of love. The real value of my profession is in the building of the coffin, in doing it well. And it is an act of perfectly ordered creation. Every piece must fit just so for the betterment of the whole. It is much like a metaphor for the harmonium philosophy. We create order, and it is beauty. I just need a pillow. He nods at you again. I need 50 coppers for the basic boards to use in construction, though the expenses don't cover the time. Usually it's either whitewashed or painted some color of the person's choosing. The boards themselves are just a 1/16 hand span thick, maybe even thicker depending on the nature of the corpse, whether it's a human being buried or not, or whether they're worried that the person might get back up again. Haha! I just need a pillow. He nods at you again. Some prefer Bitopian pine, which is fine and traditional, but I prefer the heavy Arborean oak. Materials simply because they have a good weight about them. Even a 20th inch of oak is stronger than a 16th of hand span of pine. He paused for a moment. I just need a pillow. He nods at you. From there, it might need about a score multiplied by a score of steel wood screws, gauge about 8 by 1 1/4 inch or so. Lots of shops around here carry them, not a big deal to acquire them. I'll also need some sort of metal pins for securing the interior lining. Best to pick them up in the with the bunch. Then there's the matter of the battens and corner blocks, depending on how you wish to do it. This guy does not He doesn't source his own, like, parts at all, I guess. Are you listening to me? I said I just need a pillow. He places his hand on his chin. And although I usually let the natural wood speak the color of the coffin itself, sometimes the person commissioning it wants it painted special or engraved. I don't usually do the finer works for that, though I am skilled, but contracted out. He pauses for a breath. And the handles alone would be another matter entirely. He nods knowingly. What about the handles? Big thing, handles. Everything about handles depends on how the coffin is to be carried. You got skilled men carrying the coffin at shoulder height. Don't need to worry about handles. Professional pallbearers never use them, see? If you got your family and friends carrying the coffin, then the handles are necessary. You'll need some rope handles or even metal handles. He gives you a satisfied look. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that actually had a regular coffin burial. It seems to always be the, I probably have seen them, but it's just the gray people, the gray dudes are so ever present that that's like the thing that I've seen everywhere. That's fine and all, but I came in here for a pillow. Do you have any? Let me give you an example. I think the most beautiful coffin I've ever seen was this one of clear pine. I don't know where they managed to get it, whether from a place in Bytopia or anywhere else, or in Bytopia or elsewhere. Anyway, it was pegged together carefully and trimmed with this beautiful run of redwood. The effect was somewhat ruined by the crude amounts of thick hemp rope that surrounded the affair. Surely, something was needed for the pallbearers to hold on to, but to ruin the entire beauty of the coffin with such badly woven rope. Henry shakes his head. I'm sure this is fascinating and all, but I just want a pillow. Then there's the matter of the measurements. They can be tricky, and I'll try and do it myself, since occasionally a client will neglect to inform me as to the race of the deceased or forget something like the hip width. Very important indeed. They're caked out to the nines, and I'm not going to be able to fit them in this box. Also, I don't think I have to specify when I use slang like that, but sometimes when I say stuff and just slip it in voice, people think that it's the real dialogue if they don't check. It's very funny. Also, if the client is still alive, I try and make precautions should the client fill out before they die, you know? He pauses. Then there's the construction itself. Hamris. There's many different ways to attach the sides and ends to the floor of the coffin, and to each other. Some use internal battens or corner blocks with plenty of wood screws to secure it in place. And you could also do the fiend's tooth method, just cut alternating tongues and recesses along the edges of to be joined so that they fit together like a fiend's jaw, requiring a little more work and requires a little more work and precision, but the result is neat and very strong. He pauses to breathe once again. Hamris. Then there's a lid. The lid's gonna need a rim or lip all around its edge, made from a strip of wood pinned to the box or carved around the edge itself. Once you have some pilot holes drilled into the main box, then drill in the screws in the top of the lid, maybe half a handspan apart. You get the impression that he's not going to stop talking now that he's on a roll. The only option is to give up or to threaten him. I've had enough. Farewell. That's not gonna work.
I'm curious. What happened to your body?
What? They talk to each other? They're talking to each other for the first time like 40 hours into my playthrough? What? What? This just came out of nowhere. But anyway, this at least now feels like a proper payoff for the setup, which is that we helped that one zombie kill himself because he was so tortured by this guy talking forever, and I'm like, every time I've actually talked to him, he's just like, I don't know, a little excited, but by the standards of a CRPG, a dialogue with exposition and stuff, like he wasn't that verbose. So I was confused by the joke. Like I got by inference what the point was supposed to be, but we never experienced it. Now we're having that happen because he's just exclusively talking about coffins while just straight up not acknowledging why we're even here, which he's never done before.
Me? I'm the head of Vecna.
Oh. The head of Vecna. I wanted to finish my thought first because I thought it was going to be a whole conversation, but it was just a little joke, and then it was over. A pillow. Okay, the whole thing starts over, so I guess I gotta threaten him. You don't shut up and give me a pillow, I'm going to hit you. Hard. You think you finally got his attention. He frowns at you with a confused look on his face. Pardon? I said I need a coffin pillow. That's all. Just a pillow. Do you have any? He looks relieved and smiles. A pillow? Ah, I thought you might need the entire coffin. He puts his hand on his chin again. I'm so sorry, but I'm out of stock on pillows right now. I don't know when I'll have them again. What with the warehouse being closed and all. Holy shit, everything goes back to this warehouse. Yes, you mentioned a problem. What was that about again? Yes, the warehouse where I store my goods is having internal problems of some sort. New management or some such nonsense. I haven't been able to replenish my stock of late. He frowns. The Harmonium would never let things get this out of hand, so as to cause distress to its customers. The Harmonium's here, aren't they? So I guess they do. His voice fades away as he thinks, and then he looks at you. Perhaps you would look into the matter for me. I guess I don't have a choice if I want a pillow. I'll do it.
Updated my journal.
He smiles broadly. Excellent. If you deal with this issue satisfactorily, then you may have your pillow for free. He gets that lecture face on his look on his face again. They may not seem like sufficient payment, but let me tell you about the construction of these pillows. No, thank you. I'll just get started on this right away. Farewell. All right, well, back to this warehouse again. Maybe we'll have a payoff on the whole warehouse arc now.